Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. You see, all this while, when one spoke about Kerala being a very tolerant state, a religiously tolerant state where Hindu, Muslim, Christians stayed together, lived together, and lived in perfect harmony. This is what one heard about Kerala. But things seems to be changing. Tonight, let's discuss why is Kerala getting communal. Let's get right into the show. This entire controversy about communalism was triggered by a bishop from Kerala. In fact, this bishop's name is Mar Joseph, and he is a Syro Malabar Church bishop from a place called Pala. Now, mind you, Pala is the capital of Syro Malabar Christians. Literally, a lot of them stay there, and Syro Malabar Church also. A lot of Syro Malabar Church are in Pala. So this bishop, he warned his people against a narcotic jihad. Now we've heard about love jihad before. And investigative agencies has probed in it, but one could never prove that there is anything called as love jihad. And this time around, now there was this new thing called narcotic jihad, and that's what this bishop spoke about. And I still don't know whether any proof exists of such kind of jihad. So Christians started going against Muslims in Kerala. Now I say that is because there is another incident which happened in Thamarassery. Thamarassery is another district in Kerala, and a church in Thamarassery actually distributed booklets which was against the Muslims in Kerala. And later on, of course, the church withdrew the booklet, and they also expressed their regret on the same. Another incident where nuns had complained that in their church, the priest had asked them not to buy vegetables from Muslim vendors, nor to sit in an auto rickshaw that has been driven by a Muslim. They were told that this should be avoided. Of course, the nun protested, and they said that Jesus never thought them to be communal. So the point that I'm trying to make is a lot of communalism has taken place in Kerala, especially between the Christians and the Muslims. Now let's start to kind of identify why this happened. And I've taken a lot of reference from this beautifully written article in Hindu by Subin Dennis, who is an economist. He has dissected this problem very nicely. So I've taken a lot of reference from his article. So thanks to that. And so let's discuss what exactly has gone wrong in Kerala and why all of a sudden this animosity against Muslims by Christians, especially Syro Christians. Now it says that the problem started actually with the Palestine-Israel conflict. When Israel bombed Palestine, a lot of Palestinians died. Christians, especially from certain communities, started supporting the Israeli attack on Palestine. Started supporting Israeli attacks. There were a lot of pamphlets, there were a lot of Facebook, social media, so on and so forth that were distributed, which hurt the Muslim sentiments. So that's one of the reasons why the conflict took to the shape which it has taken now. Also, the fact is one needs to understand that economically, Christians are one of the most successful communities in Kerala. So that needs to be understood. So what really happens there is they are the most educated and the most successful in terms of money economically. But things have been very different in the last couple of years. Things have actually gone downhill in the last couple of years, especially since the rubber price came down. See, Christian farmers normally plant rubber. That's their biggest crop. That's what Christians are known for in Kerala. So most of the Christian community, they have huge rubber estates, and that is where they make their money. And since the cost of rubber has come down, the Christian community, the economic success or economic health of that community also came down. That's one. Of course, pandemic was another issue. And because of pandemic, again, business was not good. And so broadly speaking, both the church and the community economically started sliding down. So that's one of the reasons why there is a lot of animosity and there's a lot of reason to blame somebody else, which normally happens in a situation when you have problems, you are faced with multiple problems, you tend to blame somebody else, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people say that this animosity actually took off. And also the fact that Kerala faced floods, two consecutive floods. So like I said, all of these put together caused this kind of an animosity. Of course, the second and the most important thing is politics. You see, Congress was the party that a lot of Christian community supported in Kerala. So if you see chief ministers like A.K. Antony, Umman Chandy, they were all Christians. Not that there were no Hindu chief ministers in Congress, there were, but all the same. There was K. Karunakarnan, who was a very celebrated and very respected chief minister of Kerala, who was from Congress and a Hindu, but predominantly there were a lot of Christian chief ministers. The point I'm trying to make is Christian community was normally in support of Congress. Now, Congress, like I said in my earlier editorial, Congress is decaying. And the fact that Congress is decaying in Kerala made Christian community look elsewhere. And that is when Bharatiya Janata Party came in. Bharatiya Janata Party has been standing, Bharatiya Janata Party, for instance, supported what the Bishop Mar Joseph said. They supported it. In fact, they said that, listen, they are not going to allow people to criticize Mar Joseph or go against what he said. They said they will stand by or form any threat to Mar Joseph. They said they will stand by Mar Joseph. So the fact remains that Bharatiya Janata Party is standing behind the Christians. So all of a sudden, a new political affiliation and possibly also a new enemy that the Christians all of a sudden started seeing in the Muslims. So this is the political part of the entire story. The point that I'm trying to make, based on what we see currently, I think two very important things are going to happen. One is the fact that if the support to Bharatiya Janata Party increases and Bharatiya Janata Party support to Christians and Christian support to Bharatiya Janata Party, if this increases, 2024 will see a different picture in Kerala. Bharatiya Janata Party may find itself at least a few seats in Kerala, for sure. The second thing that could happen politically is this may be the end or the beginning of the end of Congress in Kerala, because they will be losing a strong and a very huge support base. And third is a state that always took pride in saying that it was communally tolerant, that may end in Kerala. So while that said, all is not bad in Kerala. There are voices of dissent. There are voices of, in fact, there are sensible voices that are that one can see from various quarters. In fact, the Orthodox Church has criticized the statement made by the bishop. A former Catholic bishop has taken objection, has criticized what the bishop has said. So yes, there are voices which are still talking sense and still trying to maintain that communal harmony. But like I said, we'll wait and watch which direction Kerala goes. Will Kerala remain a land of communal harmony, or will Kerala take a different turn in the future? Before I leave, as usual, let me remind you that it is important for you to subscribe to our channel for us to survive. So please do subscribe to our channel. Log on to www.hwnews.in. Subscribe to our channel. Help us to be independent and talk fearlessly and without favor. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.